Ferrari Cup, Event 2, Round 3, on the streets of Shanghai. Hello there everybody and welcome to Opafet Gaming. I am the Opafet. We're driving a Ferrari F430 challenge car in our semi-pro special season. We're driving it in a Ferrari Cup event on the streets of Shanghai, China, in the Yan Tunnel Run. We're doing 4 laps. We're driving during the day and we start at 22nd of 22. Now this part of the track, right at the beginning here, you got a nice, I got bumped there just for slowing down a little bit too much. We got a nice wide track here, so you got room to pass, you know, but you got to be careful because it is a tough corner to pass on because it really pushes you out towards the outside of the corner. So you got to just take it easy. And you got 4 laps. These laps are decent length. They're going to take a little bit of time to do, and like I always try to preach is, in the first lap, you know, kind of check out the track, see how the cars are going to drive, and try and position yourself about halfway through the pack. And then you still got 3 laps to go. My biggest problem, the Opafet's problem, is the tunnel. The tunnel looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at this. It's just beautiful in here. However, for some reason, it seems to pull on my car and make me drive slower because I'm scared of running into the walls, I guess, or because it's so narrow. It's deceiving. But anyhow, that's my biggest problem. I do like the tunnel, but I don't like driving through it. So with that in mind, you know, all we can do is try and keep the speed up, and what I'm going to try and do is, if there's a car in front of me through the tunnel, I'm just going to try and keep up with him without following him too close, so that if he spins out or runs into the wall or another car, that he doesn't accidentally on purpose take 2 or 3 cars, you included, out behind him. This is Grid Legends after all. So we do have to be careful of that, because in Grid Legends there's a little bit more contact than in a lot of other racing games, which, I don't know, it changes the game a little bit, spices it up, you know, gets you ready for things that you are not ready for. Well, I guess you can't get ready for things you're not ready for, but just be prepared. So we're finishing our first lap and we're sitting in 9th, so we only got 8 cars behind us, or in front of us, that we got to pass. And we're right at this section of track again where you can pass quite a few, like I said, if you're on the outside, but right about here you start getting pushed real hard to the outside. So I usually slow down a little bit, I'll let them go. There again, we're only in lap 2, so we got lots of time. You know, as we're racing through here, just try to keep up to these guys. I prefer to have 1 or 2 cars in front of me anyhow as a pace car, and I will sit behind them for a lap or 2, unless they're going too slow like that. But the problem with that is now I'm the lead car. Now, I don't mind being the lead car, but I have a problem with knowing how hard to push to stay ahead of them. Now, I know you got the counter, and we're going to jump into the tunnel here with about a 3.5 second lead. And normally I would lose a lot of time through this tunnel because, like I said, I tend to slow down. And then the cars behind you catch up and they could even pass you in the tunnel. They've done that before. So I'm going to try my best to keep it going as hard as I can to stay ahead of them. Now, we went in with a 3.5 second lead and we came out with a 4 second lead. And that's a big surprise. A Shanghai surprise, I suppose, because I don't normally do that well in the tunnel or around this particular corner. That always slows me down to the point where you're almost stopped. So keep that in mind when you drive in this race. You know, if you can do a little better than I do on those 2 places, then you're going to do all right in this race. Now we're coming up here pretty close to the end of the 2nd lap already. Okay, so we're maintaining a 4.5 second lead, and if we can do that, then you know that you've got just the right amount of pressure on them, you're pushing it just hard enough to stay ahead. Because if you go any slower, they'll catch up to you real quick. I mean, all you have to do is look in the rearview mirror, something that the Opafet a lot of times forgets about. because if you can see a car in your rearview mirror, he's too close. Because if he's not close, you have any problems running into the wall, spinning out, or anything. Anything that slows you down, drags you a little bit, that car will be by you and you'll be looking to catch up again. So we want to avoid that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and drive the track, use the full width so we don't have to slow down too much. And we've gained a little bit. We're up to about 9-second, almost a 9-second lead going into the tunnel, which is really surprising for me, really surprising. It was kind of nice, I guess, that we got in the lead that early. However, then there's no other cars around. But you do get to practice driving from side to side using the full width of the track around the corners. So always try and get something out of the race, whether you're winning or losing, and that you're learning something. That way you're going to get better. Your races will end up being better, and you'll end up having a lot more fun too. Not that that's possible anymore, because I tell you, I enjoy this immensely. Here in the third lap, the graphics are fantastic, the gameplay is great, the car handles really good. I mean, what's there not to love? So as we're coming down this straight section here and around the corner, we're going to be finishing our third lap. And then there's only one lap left to go. Now we've lost a little bit of time. We're down to 5-second lead. But like I said, when you got a little bit of a buffer, it's okay to slow down a little bit more for the corners, because you're better off losing a little bit of buffer time rather than running into the wall, right? You don't want to lose control of the car, because you want to be able to keep that separation gap the same size or a little bit bigger. And it looks like we're increasing it a little bit because we are on the straight sections where we can go a little bit faster. Well, we got that tunnel run to go again one more time. But I guess, you know, the more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. We're up to a 10-second lead now. It doesn't matter how slow I go through that tunnel. I couldn't possibly lose enough time through the tunnel to get caught up to by the competition. So we can just kind of run through the tunnel, slow down a little bit, and just enjoy the graphics and the gameplay. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really enjoyed this one. Mind you, I enjoy most of the races in Grid Legends, and you know, I sound like a broken record saying every time that I really, really love it, but it's true. So, I mean, what better game can you play than when you enjoy every race that they give you to race? If you ever have a chance to try it, give it a shot. It's not a brand new game. It's been around for a little while. The Opafett got a little bit late to the party, but nevertheless, we're still enjoying the festivities. So give it a shot, see what you think. This has been an awesome race. I hope you loved it as much as I did, and hope to see you back at Opafett Gaming again real soon. Until the next time, you've been racing in a Ferrari with the Opafett.